Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion and this is Cake Batter Chapstick. The crazy in the crazy troll nation, which is what I consider my channel to be. The crazy is just enjoying your channel and enjoying the channels you watch. And the troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to fall into believing you need a certain brand or a certain tool or a certain technique. Use whatever it is you want to use, however you want to use it to get your makeup on the way you like it and rock it. Here at the Crazy Troll Nation, it is about self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them when you want to, if you want to, but never feeling like you have to. I do curse on my channel sometimes because I do curse in real life sometimes. If you're here for the first time, welcome. There's a lot of links and information down below, so make sure you check that out. Yeah, and if you're returning, hey y'all, how you doing? This video, real quick, I'm gonna show you what's on my face. The Fenty primer and foundation. I did not put on any concealer today, and usually I don't when I use the Fenty. I set my under eye with Hourglass Soft Light for blush. This came in a subscription box and it was my choice. LOE Secret Garden 3D Blush and Glow Palette. And I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it. I use this shade here as a blush. And I use this shade here just on the top here because this is really light for me for a blush. And so I'm guessing that's the glow part. But anyway, so that's what I did today. And I didn't like it at first, but once I got everything on, I'm like, all right, we can rock with this. And for highlighter, I used the Nomad Studio 54 Disco Nights. I use that as a highlighter. So that is this little bit of shine up here. For bronzer, subscription box also, give them Lala. And yeah, so we use this just there. This is not really a shade on me, but it's there but not there kind of thing, which can be cool because I cannot overdo it with that shade. For contour, still playing around with trying to contour, the LYS bronzer. This one is in Courage, and in parentheses it says tan. This is very cool tone for me, so that's why I use it as a contour. And so this is across my forehead right here and here. Yeah, so that's where this is. And then I finished my face with the Dim Light Hourglass finishing powder. My brows are the Fenty Brow MVP, and that is everything on my face. We're going to do another look today with Notoriously Morbid Mothman palette, beans and butt. So I'm going to prime my lid with my usual Fenty eyeshadow primer. Listen, y'all, I love apartment living. Even though my rent is high, I don't have to pay for anything as far as repairs. And my faucet had been leaking, and it was off and on, not even all the time, not even consistent. But when I would turn the water on, it would leak and it would drain over into where the little nozzle thing is for your dishwasher, and from there it was dripping down under the sink. And I only knew because I have under there, well, other stuff, but one of the things I had under there was a recyclable trash bag, a recyclable thing, and you put a recyclable bag in and you put your recyclables in it. And I noticed a little while ago that it had like dried water spots on it, and I'm like, what? Like just on the bottom, and it was only like on one side. But by the time I seen it, it was dry. So I'm like, where did this come from? And so every now and then I would see more water spots. And so when I went out today, I said, let me go put in a work order. And I had thought about that because when I turned on the faucet, and this is my kitchen sink, the water was dripping and running over. So I took a picture of it running from the faucet and then running over. And I took a picture of the recyclable bag. And so I went into the office, and one of the maintenance guys was in there. He's like, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm okay. I might have a job for you later." He said, "What happened?" I said, "I have a leak in my kitchen sink." He's like, "Oh, I'll be there later today." But it turned out to be a different dude. But from the time I put in the work order, 5 minutes later, I received a text, "Work order has been created." And I'm just like, what? And yeah, so he came like maybe 2 hours later. And it took him about maybe 40 minutes. So he had to replace the entire faucet, and he had to do some drilling. So I don't know like if it was just rusted on there or what, but he said, "I'm going to make a little bit of noise, okay?" I said, "Okay." And it's like, it sounded like jackhammering. I'm like, oh my God. So I went to see. I said, "Oh, that's a lot of work, huh?" He says, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, what was wrong with it?" He said it was just really old. And so he replaced the whole faucet. So now the whole faucet system is nice and shiny, and the sink part is looking dull. But anyway, so that's done. Yeah, so that's one of the joys of apartment living is I don't have to pay for no repairs. One time I was out, I'm just seriously babbling. How y'all doing today? What's new in y'all life? I went out and I came home and it was smoke coming from the utility closet. So my water heater was smoking. I was like, oh. So I knew to turn the breaker off. And this was after hours, like 9:30 at night. So there's an 800 number I called. Left a message. Somebody called 10 minutes later and they were like, "Turn the breaker off." I said, "I did that." They said, "Okay, we'll be right out." They came out, they looked at it, they said, "We'll bring you a new one tomorrow." The next day I had a new water heater. And I'm just like, this is awesome. And it was brand new. It wasn't from an empty apartment because it was in like the box that from whatever store. And I'm just like, okay. So my rent is high, but anything that happens, they do come right out and fix it. So I was looking at the palette. Yesterday we used, I think, 7 shades, and there's 15 in here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 15. There's 15 shades in here. We used 7 yesterday, but we did do some layering because I wasn't liking how this was looking because it just made it all pink, and then this just erased everything else. And so I'm going to use shades I did not use yesterday, which means probably not using one of the 2 mattes in this palette. I'm thinking this row and maybe this one because we did not use any of these or this one. We did not use this one. I realized also with this lid being this way, if you don't put it on straight or if it goes crooked, it gouged that shadow. This one right here. And yeah, one of these pieces had gouged it when something, I don't know how it happened. And so in a way, I wish that it did not completely detach. I like that it does because you can just sit the mirror down or sit the palette down and just use the mirror. But at the same time, if you sit it somewhere and it slides off or you're trying to put it on and it's crooked, you know, look at that shadow. I haven't even used that one yet. So anyway, so that's that. So what are we going to do? These are Fenty number 230 brushes. Why Fenty having a sale up to 60% off? Y'all, they be coming for my money. We're going to, and these are all Duochrome, Multichrome, something chromes too. And so I'm looking at it, it's deceptive. This is Goth Moth, a blackened purple duochrome with sparkles that shifts gold and teal. This is Moth Buns, a glowing purple shadow with red sparkles. Live, Laugh, Lurk, a red-blue duochrome shadow with rose gold sparkles. I wrote sparks, but I think it's supposed to be sparkles. And this is Glowing Peepers, a red gold shifting duochrome. I think this will be more of a topper, so I think I'm going to take this in my inner corner or just my tear duct area. But all of these have some sort of purple in it, which is why I'm thinking of just using these. And this one here, which is Pleasant Legend, a unique multi-chrome that shifts rose gold, plum, purple gold. So all of these here, this one and these 4, they all have something purple in it. So that doesn't help me. We're going to take this one first, Pleasant Legend, because we're going to do Glowing Peepers last and put that on our tear duct area. So we're going to put this here. And I am still going to really play around with this palette, just using 1 or 2 shades on the lid to get the full effect of the shifts, even though you can still see it. Like, look here, you see like a lighter shade, then it gets darker. So the shifts do show up, even in a small area. But once you start placing them side by side and blending them together, you know, it may diminish that look. And actually, because all the shadow is off, these brushes do stain. That's the only thing I don't like about them. But I do love them otherwise. I think now we're going to take Live, Laugh, Lurk, or Moth Buns. I want to take Moth Buns. No, let's just go in with this one, because it looks lighter, but then I have a feeling it's going to show up darker than that one. But so Live, Laugh, Lurk. Is this picking up? Yes, it is. So we're going to put that there. They look nice together. This is lighter than I thought. Look at this shift. You see, but you only see it really when I do that. I don't know. If this was all the way across the entire lid, I think when I turn my head, you would see it more than just that little piece. But you definitely can see that there is some shift there. So we're going to do that here. I'm trying to be quick. I'm liking doing the whole process with eyeshadow looks. And I know some of you really like it too. It's just way too long if I'm doing like a multi-look, multi-palette video. But just for the one palette. Oh, I got notification today that I'm waiting for 2 palettes. Necromancy Cosmetics. Which one is that? Is that the Swamp of Sorrows? Yeah, that's the Swamp of Sorrows palette. So that shipped today. And they told me like 4 to 7 days after it ships I should have it. So I'm super excited about that. Or was it 4 to 5 days? It was 4 to 5 days because I remember thinking that's quick. And I'm also waiting for, what's that other palette? Forest Heart, Black Forest Heart from Salem Cosmetics. So I'm excited about that too. I don't know if I'll order pre-order again because that was the second pre-order, I believe, unless I'm mixing up the companies. Because when I buy stuff, it's like I want you here in like a week. First world problems. Because when I order things from anywhere, I get it within like a week. And so you telling me I gotta wait like 2 weeks and then it might ship. So I'm just like, I do like this. You know what this is kind of reminding me of right now? That look I did with that Temu palette. So I'm just bringing this up just a little bit higher. Just a little bit higher. We're going to put that brush down since we used both sides. And now we're going to go into... Did we use Pleasant Legend? Oh my gosh, I don't know what I did. Pleasant Legend. Did we use this one? Yeah, that was the first half of the lid. And then we put Live, Laugh, Lurk. So we're going to take Moth Buns. This is what happens when I don't write stuff down, when I don't have a plan. I just be like, I don't know what I put where. And I'm glad this is darker like I thought it was going to be. Because yesterday I was just like, ooh. Well, I should say whatever day you see the first look with this palette. So there is a gradient. I really like this palette. And it really does not bother me. It's only 2 mattes in here. And the shadows do seem to work well together. And maybe because they're all the same finish as far as the sparkleness. And so it's usually easier to blend them together. This is nice. Look at this. Ooh. Ooh. I'm going to take this up a little bit higher just because I have all this puffy space up here. Like, did you see all this puff? All this space. I think I might take Mason Monster, that mustard. Actually, what does it say? Green tinge peanut matte. Just because I have all this space up here. So like something needs to go there. But I am taking this up higher so that even if I do put that shade there, you'll still see the lid shades. And not like the other day when I did this, well, yesterday when I used this palette, whatever day it was that you saw look number one, when I put the transition shades, then you couldn't see my lid shades when I looked up. And so that's why we're taking this up here. And I do realize this had moth buttons on it, and I am just kind of sweeping this all the way across the top edge. I like that. I'm going to go back with a really clean brush. No, because I could tell what side it was on. No, I can't. I'm going to take a clean brush and go back into Live, Laugh, Lurk that we put in the center. And I'm going to put some of that back. Please say that this was where I put that one and not Pleasant Legend. I'm looking at the notes. Okay, yeah, this is the right one. So we're just going to put some more of that right back here. Yeah. I did not have fallout yesterday. I had the look on all day. It did not fade. It did not crease. So I was just like really excited. Yeah. So we're going to overlap both the first shade and that outer corner shade just to make sure we have a nice blend. I like it. Excuse me, troll. I like what that did. Now we're still gonna add another shade, a fourth shade on the lid. I know y'all, I'm doing too much. Goth Moth, and this is a blackened purple duochrome with sparkles that shift gold until. So I'm hoping that because this is a black and purple duochrome that it'll show up darker than this one, which is this one. And so we're going to take an Esom something T37, and I am just so excited about this palette because I have nothing like it. I mean, yes, yes, I have, you know, the dark-based Lethal Cosmetics. I like that. So this is without Goth Moth, and this is with. That's this shade, y'all. That's this one. That's showing up dark like that. I love it, but it can make it challenging, and so I'm glad I kept the paper here with the shade descriptions on it, because looking at it, you would think, okay, this is lighter than this, or put this and this together. Like how I did the look yesterday, thinking, okay, yeah, it's going to be monochromatic, but the shifts just, it was an ethereal multi-chrome, dual-chrome look. And I did like it once I finagled it, but it initially was not like what I envisioned just by looking at the shades and even reading the shade names. I was thinking it was going to look different. We're going to take an Esom brush. This one is a V27, and we're going to go into that same shade, and we're going to just kind of wiggle inward. And this is messy in the pan. So I am tapping off because I want to get down here closer to the lash line, which may not matter by the time we put eyeliner here. But I do want to just put that there. So I do like how that deepened up, and we're just going to feather in just a little bit. I am liking that. And then I'm going to swipe on the side of the brush. I'm tapping off, and we're just going to put some right here in the middle, swiping in gently, pressing lightly, feathering inward. And I am seeing, yeah, some sparkles on my face. This is the brush I used for the finishing powder. I don't know if they're moving. Oh, you see all this? That is not highlight. Is that highlight? No. That is not highlight. Also using sparkly shades. They do adhere to my eyeshadow primer, but once I start to layer a shimmer shade or sparkle shade on top of a shimmer shade or sparkle shade, that's when I get the fallout, because it's not adhering to the primer. It's trying to adhere to another shadow. Yeah, so this is not coming off. But, you know, we're going to play it off like it's highlight. Yeah, that's not coming off. And this here is highlight. So maybe this really is, but then I'm seeing some sparkles up here too. So I think it's a mix. Yeah, this is the highlight. This up here is fallout. And it's seldom I get fallout here because usually it just does fall onto my cheeks. I don't even get fallout with Pat McGrath like this. But yeah, it did get a little messy. You can see around here. So mostly this shade and I don't know, one of these. But you see how, yeah, it's getting kind of messy. What are we doing? Am I going to take Mason Monster for my transition shade? I'm looking to see what else can I use as a transition shade. I really liked how this looked on my lower lash line. And so I'm thinking that might look nice, even though that's a metallic. And I'm wanting to use something different than yesterday. I'm looking at this one. This is 57 Chevy, which says smoky duochrome that shifts red-orange. Do we want to try that in our transition? And looking at it, it almost looks matte, like a purple grayish, right? Look at that. Let's go for it. This is an Esom V33. Why does it look like it's lifting out of the pen? You know why? Because when I gouged it by accident. Hopefully this looks nice, y'all. So we're just going to start right here. Ooh. I don't like that. I like the shade, but just not there. That look dusty. But since we did that side, let's... Oof. Okay. No, this was not a good idea. That looks dusty. What does this say? Smoky duochrome. That don't look smoky to me. That looks like a gray base. And that's what's making it look dusty on me, look ashy on me, because it looks like a grayish tone. I don't like that. We're learning here. We're going to take a clean one and we're just going to go into Mason Monster, because we've learned from yesterday that this does just erase shadow. Look at that. So this is with it, and then Mason Monster just took it away. This shade is funny to me, but it's good to know that I have a shade in here that can blend out and erase when I make mistakes. I am just tickled. Like that is, it just completely just erased it. And so I don't remember what brush it was, but we're going to actually take a dense brush, a small dense brush. And no, we're not. We're going to take an hourglass brush and we're going to go back into Goth Moth, this shade here, and that was that dark shade here. So I think I do still need a different brush. We're going to take a Scott Barnes number 63. This shade, this shade is sparkly, like you see. So I don't know if this is going to be a mistake. So we're just going to bring this up and let the brush travel it up over into the transition. So we're placing it here and then letting it go up here. That's creating like a weird line right here. Welcome to my process. All right, so we're doing this on both sides. This shade, this is where that fallout came from. You see all of that? And I am tapping off still, but this is the one that gave me fallout the most. And so we're just traveling that up here, and we're going to feather it. Because once it's laid, it's there. It's just getting it there without the fallout. And that's something I need to work on. So I am glad to be learning this process. We're going to take a clean brush because I don't remember what's what now. And we're going to go into Moth Buns, the one that looks like it's purple. And this one is not as powdery. And we're going to put that right here because how that created that weird line right there. So we're just getting rid of that. And even though it's not one on this side, just to make it look the same. These shades, I really like how these shades go together. These two, even though this looks green, it's this dark shade. But I'm really liking how these two go together. And I do also like how these two go together as well. So I am happier with this look today than yesterday. I don't feel like I had to finagle much except to use Mason Monster to cover up 57 Chevy. Yeah, that shade just looked gray based to me. And it says smoky. Well, I guess smoky is gray. But on me, nah. So that might be a shade I'll lay down and then just put something over top of it. So we're going to take a blending brush with nothing on it. And we're just going to just blend up here. Because we still just have the space and we don't really have anything to put up here. And I could take my lid shades up higher, but I don't want them all the way up to my brow bone. And I don't want a chance using something in here as a brow bone highlight, because right now I don't know what these other shades look like. This I like. Oh, look at that blend. This is nice. And with this, I don't feel like, okay, something's missing, I need to put something here. These shadows blend nice. And so it is almost to the brow, but not quite to the brow. And I think it's blending in, mixing in with Mason Monster, the eraser shade. Because this is not my skin tone. And so I can still see Mason Monster there blending with this. And you see that it is blending, because this was a brand new, well, not brand new, but a completely clean brush. And so it is blending it out and making the shadow travel, which is what we wanted. I got a lot of brushes and a lot of fallout over here. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to take a gray and put this on my lower lash line. Y'all, what color lip are we going to do today? I'm really saying that like y'all right here and can answer me. I do want to do a live one day. I don't think I'm set up for it. Even if I did it on my phone, I'm thinking like, how will I see the comments? Because my phone is only so big. And I do record on my phone. On my laptop, the picture looks horrible. And so I don't want to record to do a live on my laptop, especially if I'm going to be doing a look. And some of you have asked me about doing a live. I like the premieres. To me, the premiere is the next thing, a step down from doing a live, because even though we're chatting, the video is already done. And so mostly we're just like chit-chatting in the chat. And then actually, because I'm keeping an eye on the comments, I do go back later and actually watch the video. So we're creating a line there. And we're bringing this a little bit further. Yep, that's what we're doing. We're not going to do lower waterline. This is the Hourglass number 9 brush. I always want to say number 6. And we're just going to blend this out a little bit, which may or may not make a difference because we're going to put shadow under here, I think. Or not, because I do like how this looks. And to me, this looks how Premonitions looked yesterday. So maybe I'll put Premonitions under here again, but I want to use something different. When I get a new palette, my goal is to use every shade in the palette. And so that's why I'm trying new things. So what can we put on our lower lash line? We used everything. No, we didn't use this one. Phenomenon. We didn't use that one. We've used everything else except this one. And we're going to put this one, which is Glowing Peepers, for a tear duct area. So using this and using Phenomenon, we'll have used every shade in this palette. I feel so good about that. All right, so let me get a brush, another brush. This is a Esom V31, and we're going to go into Phenomenon, which says a silver till multichrome that shifts green till blue. And I'm thinking I'm seeing a pattern here where they group them according to what the base shade is. Like how all of these had a purple base, these seem to have a different base. So that's interesting. Not that I would remember. And so I am thinking I will always just keep this paper here. And we're going to bring that up here too, where we put that line. Oh, this broke it up nice. As far as the color. This is not a lot of kick up. The Golf Moth, that one, ooh, that one was messy. So that one I know I need to be careful with when I'm putting that on. Look at all this fallout. Ooh. If I was going out, maybe I'll do it anyway, even though I have powder, spray on my face. Have some concealer under there to clean that up, because it can be done. People say don't put powders over shimmers. This is the brush we use to blend out that gel liner, and I'm just doing this so this shade doesn't get flaky and flake into my eyes. So I'm just like kind of pressing it in. So, oh, we still need to do inner corner. I like this look. And all the shades like do blend in. So we have 1 shade, 2 shade, 3 shade, and then the dark shade, 4 shades on the lid. But it looks, and you do see the shifts, a little subtle, but you see them. You can see this one shifting when I turn. That center shade, depending on how the light hits it, you can see that. And you see how this is darker and then it's not. Yo, these shades are showing up. All right, so give me them peepers. It is not glowing peepers. And again, this is a red gold shifting duochrome. I don't know, but we gonna find out. So we're just gonna put that right here. She cute. So you see what I'm saying? This whole row and this is like a purple base. Purple or pink base. Well, more so purple. Yesterday was more of a pink look, and we used different shades for that. I like, oh, I like this. I like that. That same brush, and we're just pressing it in. So that is it for this palette. We have used every shade, and I'm digging it. And I like that you really can see the shifts. You would see them more if it was just 1 or 2 shades on the lid versus 4 on the lid, but that's what we do here. I am going to take some concealer and hopefully this, ooh, child. And so we are just going to do some dots. And you know what? If this comes out janky, then just don't do it. But we do stuff here. This is a Dose of Colors brush. My other one fell apart. I was holding the ferrule and squeezing out the water and soap, and all the bristles just popped out. I was like, okay, trash. So we're just going to pat this concealer self sets. So I need to be quick, especially because it's over powder. And then I sprayed my face. Did that clean it up though? This was the 4N Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer. That's what this was. And it does self-set. Did that work? Tell me I can't put concealer or a cream over a powder. And even though it self-sets, we're going to go back with the Hourglass Soft Light Powder. I don't even remember what brush I used for that. So we're just going to take this brush and go into that. And we're going to just tap that there. That's looking yellow. You know, it's looking olivey. That's what it's looking like. I had so much stuff on my face already. It's like, girl, you just putting on more stuff. So that is that. Look at that. I cleaned it up. I still see fallout on my nose though. And so this here, you know, we can just say that's highlight, which most of this right here is. It was just this area here that I was seeing a lot of fallout. So look at that. So people can say don't do it, but it's up to you, like what you're comfortable with doing, and I just be trying stuff. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take the Fenty. Do I want to do a funky liner? I do, but I don't, because I want to just soak in this look. So we're going to take the black Fenty Fly Liner. What did we use yesterday? We used the gray yesterday, didn't we? We're just going to take this one, and then we're going to put on the Lancome Sus Boost Mascara Primer and the Il Makiage Mascara. And then we're going to come back and figure out a lip. Think about what lip I'm going to do, and we can guess if you're right when I come back. We're going to wipe off some chapstick. I picked out a lippy, and it's matchy-matchy. And y'all know I don't really like the matchy-matchy. So pray tell, what did I pick up? The Fenty Stunner and Undefeated. Is that what it says? This is matchy-matchy, and I'm feeling like I'm going to regret this. Is it Undefeated? Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to put... This is the last time I'm using this one. My label says it expires April. Today is March 25th, 24th, 24th. Yeah, she's smelling strong. I'm gonna finish this and come back. This is our finished look, and I am hella excited. Beans and butt. Yes, we've used now every shade in this palette. I'm going to continue using it. I'm going to continue doing looks with it and not using 7 or 8 shades in each look. But I am glad that I did it this way, just seeing how the shadows work, seeing how they shift, seeing how they play with each other. Girl. Excuse you, troll. This palette is a lot of fun. And that's part of the fun for me. It's just like, what is it going to look like? And if I don't like it, how to fix it. But I do know I don't like this shade because it shows up gray on me, which looks dusty. It's like a cool tone gray on me. But look at these shades in here. Oh my. And this still is not looking dark like that. Like, I'm just waiting for it to turn, and it's not. So we're gonna put this lid on gently so I don't gouge out another shadow. And that will be it for this video. Let me know what you think. And I do like the lip with this because the lip is darker than the eye, even though I do like a dark eye and a dark lip. But I think this lip, I don't know, it just works with the purple vibe going on up here. And I think maybe because it's not a purple lip, it's like something else, like a burgundy purple burgundy. I don't know. I'm going to go. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. If you've made it this far and you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe if you're not, and also click the notification bell so you will be notified when I upload, unless it's overwhelming for you because I upload almost every day. Be sure also to check my community tab at least once a week. And again, there is a lot of information down below. No giveaway for this video, so I'm not hinting at that, but there's just other stuff down there that you may find interesting. And you will see me in the next video. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.